Hey YouTube, Jolly Wombat here today to talk to you guys about lighthouse designs. This right here is my most recent design. I'm really happy with it. I guess you could say it's a dual head design. It stays lit on two sides at once. While I'm recording, the video is getting a little choppy and it looks a little more staggered than it usually is, but uh, cool things about this design, absolutely no pistons involved. It's entirely torches and repeaters and lamps. So it's very quiet. It stays pretty well running after you leave chunks. I've had it freeze up on me once or twice, but not nearly as bad as some other iterations I've had. The base of it, extremely compact, and it's powered from the underside. I'll show you in a minute how important that can be. This timer here, very, very small, like 3 by 3. So it's great for fitting in a very narrow tower with the light on top, which is, what you want with lighthouse design. Uh, so yeah, uh, if you're familiar with Redstone, you should be able to basically figure out what's going on here. Uh, I've made it extremely compact, kind of elegantly so, if I could say so myself, using these two layers here. So you actually, this is actually kind of the caveat of the design. You'll notice that the center blocks kind of lag and lead. It's in the top center blocks here and the bottom center blocks here. And it's because of the way the repeaters power redstone blocks, like lamps. I don't really think there's a way you could defeat that except to only power stone blocks and then have the stone blocks next to the redstone lamps and only have a single layer. I'm not a fan of that design. I think I like this better. It all depends on the standards you hold your lighthouses to, I suppose. If you guys are a little overwhelmed by how complicated this design is, in the process of making this, I actually came up with this little design too. I was just kind of hedging my bets, making sure that there wasn't a much easier design out there that worked a lot better and was a lot smaller. This one is a lot smaller, and it works pretty well. I'm happy with it. Some other people have probably come up with the same design here. It's not, extremely new ideas. It's just, there you go. Two detector rails, power pistons, and the pistons power redstone blocks. The thing about this design is you can't kind of hide it below, you have to hide it overhead because pistons with redstone blocks attached to the sticky pistons are prone to all sorts of errors if you try and power them from the underside. They'll just stay extended, they won't retract, or they will retract at unexpected times. If you've worked with pistons before, I'm sure you're familiar with the myriad of issues there. This is a one-directional system. If you push the cart in the other way, it acts as a brake and it just stops, which is great since I don't have a switch to turn this off. But yeah, this was all kind of the brainchild of my original design, which, as I explained before, had to power the pistons from overhead. Eventually I realized that this design actually doesn't need pistons at all. It can just use this design, but I didn't get there quite yet. In this design too, I actually also added a beacon inside of it. So there's that. And this was just an earlier model of the same design. The timing I hadn't quite simplified yet. Ended up getting it really compact with this design, and then I managed to flip the whole thing upside down, which is a lot more convenient. This was just a test to see if I could actually fit this design inside of something. I could. It was ugly. And the other thing about this design, I don't even know if I want to bring this up really, but I guess I should. I don't know why. But when you copy and paste this design around the map, occasionally you'll find places that you paste it where these pistons just don't work. Like I could replace them all day long and they would keep jamming in this arrangement at specific locations on the map. If I select this whole lighthouse head here and I move it one block in any direction, that whole problem will disappear. And I don't really know why, but such is the mystery of Jeb. And all this was inspired by me trying to replace my very, very old lighthouse. This was designed back before we even had redstone lamps. Let me turn this off real quick. These newer designs actually don't cause a lot of lag. I can turn all these on at once. But this design, I'm afraid, old Bessie, uh, just kind of slows the whole computer to a halt. So we didn't have lamps back then. People had stuff where you would put the glowstone and pop it up on a piston and have sand covering it. I didn't like that. I wanted something a little bigger. So this was my design. I never made a video about it back then because I didn't make videos. And yeah, but it's a great design. It's really smooth, as you can see. I'm really proud of myself and how buttery this is. But so many pistons, so much redstone, it's a real drain on the server, and it crashed constantly. If you left the chunk even for a minute and came back, it would be jammed open in all sorts of unelegant positions. So this is finally getting replaced in our build, I think, by something that ends up being... I mean, I could literally build this new design inside of the old design. I mean, the tower that the old one's sitting in is going to feel awfully big. But real quick, let me show you guys some other things that I've been doing with the same design. Over here, I've got my UFO.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
What are you doing?
I'm showing YouTube my designs.
Space station.
Yeah, it's my space station. So here's my UFO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doing. What are you doing?
And real quick, buddy, 1 second.
Okay.
This is a big industrial plant we have, and we had a cooling tower that we wanted to do something with.
Hey,
And so this is I don't know if you noticed while the lighthouse was going, if you looked at the ground, it casts a pretty crazy shadow. And so here I actually hid it in the ceiling. You can't see it very well. You only indirectly get its lighting effect, and it creates this shadow propeller across the ceiling. It's really cool. Anyways, YouTube, I've got other pressing matters to attend to here. I hope you found this edifying. This is Jolly Wombat signing off from Northern Kingdoms. I hope you guys have a great day.